So this is a fresh listing now. So if you want to work with it, you have to first install all the necessary plugins. That's Elementor from plugin. So you can delete all these ones because you're not going to be using them for anything. So add a new plugin. So this one is first one. Stop. Then so you also need the Pro so that you can use the advanced functionality. So you choose file. You must have downloaded it already. Stop. And the last thing is the theme because I have to wait for it to install. Okay, I didn't activate the elementor. Okay. So elementor is ready. So the appearance, I need to install hello elementor for elementor to work properly. So here, most times you already see the hello elementor already here. So install. So I think that's all we need to start. Then when you want to upload SVGs so that it doesn't hinder you, you need to use any plugin that will support SVG. So when you're installing that time, I noticed one plugin that I usually use SVG support. I told you SVG safe, but there's SVG support as well. So the last time I tried to use it, they said it wasn't available at that time. I don't know why they removed it from store, but now it's back. It's one I usually use, so you can use either this or this safe SVG. I'll just use this one. So so the next thing, you want to create a header. So ideally all you need to do, because it's a template that you can reuse on all pages, you just come to templates here and click on theme builder, right? And then click on header, click on add new. Okay. So these are all avoiding that I use the Elementor theme and now it's happening. I don't know why it keeps happening. So let's see the appearance. Okay. Oh, I didn't activate it. So I have to activate it. It's because I didn't activate it. So if I should go back, it should work. So back to that template theme builder. Can you see now? So it's loading up. So the header we want to build is this Apollo.io header. So I will not make this one too detailed so that I will not waste too much time. So when you look at this, all you need is to understand the structure. So when you look at this, how do you think it's structured? Yeah, it's horizontal. Then you also need to like have an imagination of how the containers are arranged. So you can say there is one container, big container holding everything like this, yeah, and then there is this image, the logo, and then there is one container here that has this on this side and that has these ones on this side. Do you understand? And then the ones on this side could also be in one container, so that container has 1, 2, 3.
Which means it's like 2 containers, right?
Yeah. But by the time you see anything you see on a web page, you should automatically like start to spark an imagination in your head, like how the containers are arranged. So the thing is you can do it anyhow, but I'll just show you what I'm talking about here. So what I'm saying is, so I feel like there's definitely one big container that has everything, right? So that means I'll add a container. So first, so the first thing I said I like to do is, because Elementor automatically adds gaps to the containers. You want to remove that, so you go to this site settings here. Then you go to scroll down to layout. Then you remove this one, even though it's empty. Automatically there's 10 px. So I give it 0, and this one to 0, and then this I like to increase it to 100%. That means the maximum of whatever device it's on. So 100%. So you change this to percent and you make that 100. So you save and go back to this workspace. So now I'll add a container, the one that has everything, and then I'm going to make it. So I want to explain the difference between this content width being boxed and being full width. When it's full width, it means that whatever width you attach to this is what the whole width will take. So if I make this, like, let's say 1200 px now, so that means the whole width will be 1200 px. It's not even showing up. Let me give it minimum height or something like 80. Okay, let me give it color because it's invisible now. See, you might not be able to see what it looks like. Background color from which one do you want? 1, 2. So you see, if I give you 120, can you see how small it is? So that means the total width of the whole container will be 120. If I make it, let's say 800, can you see total width? But if I make it boxed, it will be infinity. But the element inside is what this width will be specifying. So for instance, let me just show you. For example, now if I drop like let me just drop 2 items inside. Let's say 2 site logos. Let me know your site logo. Go back. Let me use something else instead of site logo. Let's say, let me use container 1. So most times, if you want to drop something inside the existing container, you have to highlight the container and then select an item to make it go inside. So this now to put the another container. So you can see from this thing that's inside. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So let me duplicate this so that I want to show you what that looks like. I'll put them side by side. So for them to be side by side, this parent has to be in a row like this. So you can see now they're side by side. So I'll give you different colors so that it can be very visible to you. Let's say it's green, and this other one is like whatever, maybe this one. Yeah. So now so when you put an 2 elements inside any container, automatically, especially containers, they will automatically take up all the space. They will share it equally. If you put 2 elements, they will share it half. If you put 3, they will share it 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. You get? So now, for me to explain that box to you, so now box 140, you can't see anything. If I make it 1, because 140 is like as large as this or even larger than this. So if I make it like that 800 now, can you see? So this is the explanation.
So the box is infinity, but the content inside.
Yes. So that's what boxed does. But if I make it full width 800, the full width is 800, and then these two just expand themselves inside. So that's the idea. So let me just delete these containers and continue with what we are doing. I just want to let you understand that. So it has to be, so for this one it has to be boxed. It has to be expanding all the way, and then we can make the width, let's just say 900. I like to use the point I like to use 900 because it's very nice and in the center. So that's not what they use, but I don't want to be too rigid with this design. I just want to make it more easier, yeah, it's flexible and easier for you to understand. So now, the first thing we want to put here is this logo, right? So I'll put the logo. So like in my head, like I'm thinking, like what I said now, it means inside this whole container, there's a logo, and then there's a container that contains all these things. So I'll work with that logic. So I'm going to apply a logo and a container. So I'll select this container, and then I'll add the side logo, and then I'll add a container. Can you see? So just in case yours is being vertical, all you have to do is just come to this container that holds everything and make it horizontal. Just in case it's being like this, just make it shake. So if this is not selected, automatically it will be vertical because vertical is default. So horizontal, that was what we're working with. So now, for now, don't even bother about what is inside first. We just bother about the structure, right? So now, if this one is a logo and a container, so what is now inside this container? Then we have a WordPress menu, and we have a container that has 1, 2, 3. So that means what I'm going to add inside the container, that container on that right hand side is the menu and another container, right? So inside this container now, I'm going to add the menu, WordPress menu, and I'm going to add another container. So I have to select this container, so you just go right in. Do you get? So this is looking vertical now, so I have to make it horizontal as well. So this one, direction horizontal. Do you get? Let's not even put, like, all you need is structure now. So now I already have this one, even though I don't have the pages yet. So because I don't have the pages, you can't see anything inside of it. Well, I'll do that later. Then I have, what else? So I have this container now. So what I need now to put here is these 3 things. So they are like, let's say they are buttons, or let's say this one is text, this one is a button, this one is a button, right? So I need to put 1 text and 2 buttons inside that container. So this is the container here. For better this thing, you can name it, but I think you can follow regardless. So inside this one, 1 text and 2 buttons. You can make it horizontal already, so that whatever you're dropping inside will just arrange itself. So select the container and click on add elements. So a heading as a text and 2 buttons. Look for button. You can just type here to look for stuff faster. So this is the button, yeah, added. So I can duplicate this, Ctrl D, by clicking on it and pressing Ctrl D. So you get that's 2. So now the reason why this is looking weird is that by default it's like these elements, they are going beyond the width of 900 that we gave here. So you understand? But that's not to worry. As far as you are looking inside this structure here, and you can see that it follows the structure that you have in your head, you're fine. So the next thing now is to now format it to look nice. We already have the structure in place. All we now need to do is just format it. So the first thing we want to do is to add this logo. So by the way, just to show you how to get the logo out of this place, you do inspect, and then you use the element selector here to select the elements. So sometimes this width can be very small and make the website look like you're on a mobile version. Just increase it. I like to use 1440 for a desktop. So select the element selector and then highlight over the element you want. So this is an SVG. That means you're going to be using a text file to extract it. So select it. It will point you to where the code is inside here on the right hand side. Now edit as HTML and Ctrl A for selecting all, Ctrl C to copy. Now look for a file, open a new text file like this. You can call it Apollo SVG, Apollo logo. Yeah, so open it and paste that inside and save. Then come here and rename it to the SVG. You can either rename it by here doing file save as, and then renaming it here. But sometimes your laptop might not expose the extension of the file, so you have to. It will better fit it here. But if your laptop exposes the extension, you can do it even outside here by just doing like this and changing this to SVG. So it will ask you if you are sure you want to change it, because that's a serious thing to do. So now when it shows you like a web browser thing, show that it's already SVG. So I already installed the plugin that will allow you to upload an SVG effortlessly. Now sometimes when you want to upload from here, from inside your workspace here, let me publish. So you have to always save your work, because if you don't save it, it will. If you don't save it and you exit, it would your work will just be gone. So now, because this is a template, it's asking where I want to display this template. So add the condition. Obviously, it's a header, so you want to be it on the entire site. Then also you can exclude it on some pages. One page that often excludes the header is the 404 page. So when you visit the wrong URL, it will show you like a 404 page. So you can add another condition. So this one is include entire site, then exclude, specify a singular, then look for 404 page and just save it. So next is, so to upload the logo, right? So change this site logo. Let's see if it will allow us to upload what we have here. Desktop, Apollo. So this file is not allowed for security reasons, so dismiss. So just exit to WordPress, go to media and add it from there. So now it's inside. So go back to the header, team builder, and take it back to header like that. So now you can continue editing. So let's try to use the image again. Select the logo, change that logo, and now we'll have this here. So select. So it will show you automatically. You have to save changes first and go back to the editor. So you can see that the logo is there, right? So now the reason why this logo is small is that automatically on WordPress, this all these containers and elements is like they are fighting for space. So they've kind of shrunk this Apollo logo. So now what you want to do now is to give this logo a definite size so that it doesn't get bullied. So let's just use 117, because I think 117 fits what we have on Apollo. So select the site logo element itself, then go to advanced and go to width. So I think you can use inline sometimes, but this will not prevent all the others from bullying it. So give it custom size, change the unit to px, and then make it, let's say, 117. So can you see now you are giving it a definite size. So now it's not yet well aligned, so you need to align it to self. So this one doesn't change anything, it just pushes it to the top. This one centers it, this one brings it to the bottom, and this one stretches it. Yeah, but you want it to be like in the center like this. So this is cool. So you can see that this one is well formatted now, right?
But if you want to move it, how do you do that?
Move it away.
Yeah, assuming you want to move it a little bit
to the center.
Yeah.
And it's already, in a way, it's already like that because we already made it boxed. So the one problem with WordPress is that if you are working on a small screen, it will affect your view. So this is actually the full view. But once this nonsense widget is here, it will just make it look like it's not full. So just imagine that this is actually the full width, and then it has actually brought it inside. So that's the idea. So I guess I've answered that, right? Yep. So now moving on to the other part. So next we have this container. It will shrink. Let's see. So I don't this shrinked. Let me see if this will solve it. So making this 100%. Let me see. Okay. So if that happens, just come to the width and make it 100%. Yeah, but this still stays. So this is necessary for you to keep that width. So now just make it. So to make this 100% of this 117. Do you understand? So so this so the next stuff now is this WordPress menu. Now to populate the WordPress menu, you need to add pages to your website. So what we're going to do is not necessarily pages. All you need to populate the menu itself. So let me just show you how that goes. Like I always say, make sure you publish so that your work is saved, and then now you go back to the WordPress menu. I mean dashboard. Sorry, not menu. So this is so you need to adjust that in the menu. So the menu is under appearance, and then you don't need to click it. Just hover over it. Sometimes it will not respond, but just come back and hover, and you see menus. If you click on it, there will be a drop down, and you see menus. Anyone, which is fine. So menus. So what we want to do is just to make sure that. So I'm not trying to build the Apollo logo exactly. I'm not trying to make sure that we have this drop down. No. I just want the appearance of it. So what we need here now is, let me create the menu, call it menu, right? And save and create it. So now we have the menu. So now what you do is you can either add pages. So if what you need to click on should take you to a new page, then you add a page to the menu. So you have to come to pages on this left side, create a new page. Then when you create a new page to appear here, then you now add it to the menu. But I'm not trying to create a page, so I can just easily use something like custom links. So let me use custom links. I'll just call it let's say, so what are the names of this? So we have platform, themes, resources, pricing. So I'll create custom links for each of these 4 things. So platform, I'll call this platform, then I'll give it hash. I think hash will allow me to be able to add this. Perfect. So platform, yeah. Then next is themes, right? So I'll put hash here. So this hash is just an empty, and allows you to just make the URL. You can't leave the URL empty, but this hash is just like empty as well. So this one is themes, add to menu. What's next? Resources, then pricing. So and pricing, add to menu. So now that we have this here, it will appear in that menu, right? So I'll just say, so make sure you save it. If you don't save it, you will not see anything. So save the menu, and then you can go back to the theme builder header. So you come to templates again, theme builder, and then it takes you there, header, and then it continue working. So you can see it's already appearing. So as you can see it's already appearing here, right? So the reason why it's looking squished is, again, all these things, they are fighting for space, but we will manipulate it and make them all agree with each other eventually. So as far as that shows, so next thing we want to do is, let's also make these buttons, this text and this button visible, right? So for the this text is get a demo. So this text, I'll write get a demo here. So you just select the heading and change the text to get a demo. I'm not seeing anything. Maybe it's the color. So first, so the color is the same as the background. So the background obviously in Apollo is not blue. It's like maybe white or transparent. So let me change the color of that container. So I'll just clear it. You can clear color from here. Clear. So it's back to. So you can see the get a demo is blue. So obviously this text is too big. So Off the top of my head, I think an appropriate size would be something like, let's say, 16. So I do 16. I'll make the weight like 400, yeah, or 500. That looks too tiny. 500, yeah. And then I'm going to format it to align to self, just like we did to the site logo. Can you see center? So now we come to the middle. So the button, the text on the button is login. Then we have sign up for free. So this, I'll select the button and edit the text. Login. Is it login together or spaced? Spaced. Login, and then the next one is sign up for free. So again, this one also, you have to align it to self, center. Can you see? Do it for the other one as well. So now things are like taking shape little by little. Let me see. This looks like it. Okay. So now there's something looking in here, as you can see. So based on this now, if we have this image here and we have a container that has this element here and this element here, that means this container is formatted in such a way that it separates the first element to the left and this one pushes it to the extreme right. So we want to do the same thing inside the container in Elementor. So you click on that container. This is the container that contains the WordPress menu and the container. Then you want to make sure. So looking at, if I highlight this container now, you can see that it's actually containing what wants to contain. This menu is holding its own. Now this container here is having extra space. Sure you get, and that's something to worry about. So let's investigate that extra space. So this is the heading, this is the button, this is the button. So that means the container is just by itself taking up extra space. Now that's because it is 100%. So what we want to do now is this one. What we want to do now is like they call them AJ. That's the way me I do it. So I'm going to try to shrink this container and see if it will align to itself. So I'll come to size and I'll make it none. It doesn't work. I'll remove that. So let me do so what I'm going to do is on this. So what I'm going to do now is on this container, I'm going to align all the elements to the right. Yeah, on this container, so that it can take up this extra space here. So I'm going to come to the container, select sure I select it, and then come to layout. And then on layout, I'm going to go to this justify content. See, you can make it start from the left. The start it shows here depends on the direction that is here. So if the direction is from here to here, it will start from the left. If the direction is from right to left, the start will be from the right. Yeah. So you can either make the direction like this or put it on direction left to right and make it end. Either of the two is fine. So let's just use this one since it just involves just one action by default. So you can see now this is looking better based on the structure.
But the get demo is supposed to be like.
Let me see. Yeah, the get demo is meant to have space. I mean, there's meant to be space between the buttons, not necessarily like that. So let's give it space now. Okay, I understand what you are saying. That's true. So what this has done is that it has reversed the direction of all the elements. So let's just use this instead and make it end. Alright, thank you for that. So now let me put space in between these elements. So let me just use 16 looks appropriate. So for here, I need to this thing here is a link. So when you use a link value, it makes sure that any element, any spacing, any value applied to the column is also applied to the row. But I don't want that, so I'll unlink it. And what I need is a row gap, because there's a gap in a row. So this row gap, I want to make it 12. So can you see that there's space now? Yeah, cool. So things are looking better. The future is looking bright. So this one now, let me see. Okay. So what I want to do is I want to give this I want to give it. You can see that the edges of this button, they look curved. So I want to do that to these buttons as well. So this one, select. So I'll show you a quick shortcut here. So if I select this button, if you want to make it curved, go to style. So anything that has to do with appearance when you are working on Elementor, check style. If you are thinking of making something appear in a certain way, just check style. It's probably there. So you see this border radius, that's what does the magic. So I can make it like, let's say 8. It's too much. Make it 4. Can you see? It's curved, right? So now the trick I wanted to show you is how you can copy the style on an element to another one, especially elements of similar, like button to button. So right click on it, select copy, then on the one you want to copy it to, right click on it and click on paste style. Faster. Yeah. So what do you want to do next now? So now next thing, we want to make sure that this WordPress is not being bullied anymore. So now I'll select this WordPress. Let me see if that size thing, it should work here. So it works. None. So when you put size to none, it will prevent any other element that is beside it from making it to shrink, and it will not grow as well. That means it will not increase in size to steal space from other elements as the size of the screen increases. I don't know. I feel like that feature of Elementor is very complex. People might not easily. Before I got to understand it, I don't even really fully understand it. Like I said, I just do a UJ with it, but it works. I know how to manipulate it anyway. So now this everything is still like edging to the top. So you want to use this align self again. Align to center brings everything to the center. So now there is so much padding in between these elements. So you can do that so one thing about elements on WordPress is that different elements have different sections where certain things are. Now normally this to me looks like a structured thing. I mean, when there's padding, it should be like the layout, right? But it's not in layout for this. It's inside style. It's inside this horizontal padding, vertical padding and stuff. So when you see this thing empty in WordPress, usually there is a value by default, and I think usually 10px. So if I make this 0, you can see it start to reformat itself. So I don't mind making everything 0, so I can put what I want. So now I'm going to use space between, and I'm going to make it 12. But it doesn't give me what I want. I want space in between the text and space outside the text as well. So that means this space between will not work for me. This is just putting space in between. So I'll use horizontal padding 12. So that gives padding to the left. So that means this is like 12 here, 12, then 12, 12, 12, 12. So that's like 24 here, 24 here, 24 here. So what else do I need? So if you look at this, apparently the spacing here is much more than that. So that means I can now decide to. So this one is in a container. So I can give this container, right, that holds everything together. I can give it more padding on the left side because this is left side. So I can go to advanced, unlink it because I only want to put the padding on the left side, and here I can put 12 additional padding. So it affects only the left one. So you can see it's looking like it now. Imagine. Header is kind of done. Aside from the fact that this color, so let's just make this look colorful. I mean, look as colorful as this. So this one is probably a transparent background with black border. So if you come here, open the editor again, select this one, style. Appearance is usually in style. So this one, make it. Just remove the color. If it doesn't clear because that's the default color. Just make it like, let's say white. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's black. FF is white. 6, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 6 Fs. Kilo baby. Is it kilo shell? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Let me put the hash. Maybe that's what's disturbing it. Okay, so it's white. Then you can slide this to make it transparent. See this? Makes it transparent. So now the text is not showing again because it's white. Now what you want to do is you go to text color here and then change that to, let's say, black. So I'll use, so that's it. Now I want to change the border color as well. So if you come down here, you see border type, there's nothing. So make it solid, give it 1 or 2. I think 2 looks more like it. Then the color is already automatically black safe, but you can further reinforce it here. Border color, make it black, so you can see. Then what's next? Sign up for free. The background is black. So you select that button, obviously, go to style, color, background, make it black. Yeah, so you see now. So another thing is that there is nothing to worry too much about. We didn't specify the border, the padding and margin, not margin, the padding inside the button itself. So if you go to style, there's usually like padding that makes the text separate from the sides of, but this one is just by virtue of the fact that the button is wide enough, so the text are not touching the edges. But to more further reinforce that, you can just make it 8 on the top. See now that linking thing is affecting it. I have to unlink it. So on the left and right, let's make it 16. Right, left, 16. Yeah. Then for this one as well, or we can make it like that, 8. Then unlink, right, left, 16. You can see now. So they are looking smaller than before. The reason why these ones are big, I realized while I was working on it, is because of the height of the text. So if I inspect this, I don't want to rely too much on this inspecting, so don't bother too much about it. I just want to see for myself what they did here. So I want to check the height of the text. I meant to see this thing here. Okay, here. So the line height is 24. So if I apply that same line height to this text here, it will make it appear like the one on that website does. So coming to button, text, where is text? Typography. So select it and come to line height, make it 24. You see? So I'm going to do the same to this. You can just copy style, copy and paste style. But the thing, if we do that, it will change the background color. So let's just do it individually. Do you understand? So I'll just do it individually. Make this one 24. So you see now. Then the text of this is black, style, black. So you can either just drag this around to give it color, or the color code by yourself and just put it in. So Apollo header is done.
Oh.
So it might not be responsive though. So you get, but let's just shoot for here. So you know what responsiveness means, right?
Like
that means it works on all the pages, on all types of screens. So let me check for responsiveness. See, it's responsive, but it's not looking nice. It's not looking responsible regardless. So what I want to do now, let me do a bit of responsiveness. So selecting the entire container. Now the reason why this looks okay is that the container we used is a boxed one. That means it's automatically compressing all the elements within itself to 900. So it doesn't show to us that on the edges there is no padding. But when the screen is smaller, that it shows that there is no padding. So from this desktop, let's put padding. Even though it will not affect anything here because this thing is in the middle. So come to advanced, make sure that container is selected. Then padding, all you want to do is on left and right. You don't need it, it's already looking high, tall enough. So left, let's say 32, right 32. So now if I make this tablet, see that padding applies and it's looking responsive. What else? So now this is becoming a hamburger menu because by default there is a condition already set that when the screen is less than so size, this will change to a hamburger menu. So you get. So, but because I'm not trying to make this look exactly like Apollo, I don't really mind. It can be like that. So let's see further going down to mobile. Now obviously that 32 is looking too much for mobile. Mobile usually has like padding of 16 on both sides. So what we can do is one thing about WordPress is that you can specify specific how will I put it, settings or element settings for different sizes. So now this thing is 32 on desktop. If I come to mobile and I make it 16 here, it won't affect the desktop. Yeah. So I'll do that for mobile alone and make it 16. So coming here, 16.
But it's need on desktop to affect
yes.
Desktop
Yes.
mobile.
Yes. So I'll make this 16. Remove. I don't want it on the top. I don't want it on the bottom. Just left and right. So that you can see it's smaller. Making me feel like I should use 8. Even 8 is not bad. But yeah. So this logo. So another thing is for this mobile now, we probably want to put padding on the top because as you can see this Apollo is going haywire. But then let's look at maybe how we can reduce the size. So now again, if you reduce the size of this logo, it will only be affected on this mobile as well. So let me try reducing the size of this logo. Then I also want to try to make the login and sign up not visible on mobile. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this login element, come to advanced, then go all the way to responsive. Now I'll hide it on mobile. It will show, but when I publish it, it will not show. So I'll select this as well. I'll also hide it on mobile. Responsive, hide on mobile. So you can see it's looking dull. Then this logo I want to make it smaller as well when it's on mobile. So advanced, let me make it like 100. So let me see what it looks like. I'll publish it and I'll preview it. So I want to inspect it and make it appear like it's on mobile. Okay. So apparently this menu is still taking up some space. So let me go back and check. So now the reason why it's like this is that this container that's containing all these buttons is not shrinking. Yeah. So one thing I want to try to do is I want to try to make it. It's already on the end. Let me see. Okay, it's already on the end. So let me try to make it shrink. Let me see if this. So let me do that AJ again. So on this advanced, selecting this container, let me try to shrink it to none, and let me see if that will. So when you are doing responses most times, just have to like keep testing and seeing how things go. So obviously that did not work, not shrink. For this. I don't know what we'll do to this thing now. Another thing we can do is to try to make this container invisible altogether. Let me try that. This one, it won't be visible on mobile. So I'll do. Now it's getting messy here. Just bear with me. It's already looking nothing to do. But so I'll select that container, advanced, responsive, hide on mobile, publish. So that's gone. Now is this menu is the problem. So if the menu is the problem on container, so one thing I want to do now is on this container on mobile, I'm going to make it have space in between like this. Publish. Still did not work.
Like, I don't understand. You want to make the menu.
So I want to make this.
What?
I want to make this. You know when it is in, what do you call it now? You know when you make this to be spaced apart, it's meant to put this logo on this extreme left and this container here on the extreme right. But apparently it's not moving anything. So one thing I can do is I can force it. I'll select this container, I'll make it visible. Where is it? I'll make it visible again. Okay, it wasn't even invisible in the first place. Okay, it wasn't invisible. It's this one. I'll make it visible again. Then I'm going to try to force this one, because looking here, what's problematic is this container. So I'm going to try to reduce it. Well, let me place it end. I think this will work. So on this container, since is this one hidden? No. Anyway, so this container, I'm making it justify contents to the end, just like we did that time for the buttons, right? Remember? So let's publish this. So it has moved now.
So you forced it.
Yeah. So yeah.
You forced it.
Yeah. I with this layout here to push all the content inside this thing to the end. But the thing is, this width is still not good. This width is still not green. It's still taking up all the space, pushing this Apollo logo to the top. So I still want to try to make that width to align. So this site logo, I think it already has. It doesn't have this. So this side logo, I'm going to give it none for size, and this container too. Let me try to also give it none. Publish. It no work. This thing is stubborn there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to adjust the size by force. So this, I'm not going to make it full width. I'm going to make it percent and I'll make it 50%. Do you get? So the logo is going to take 50%, it's going to take 50%. So you can see that it has automatically agreed now to align to stay in one place. So I'm going to publish and check it out. Can you see? So this get demo, I'm just going to hide everything inside this container. So this is it. So you can see it's responsive now. Can you see? So that brings us to the end of this. I know it was work.